feel like a lot of people at every studio have been asking those questions.
What is going on?
Yes, absolutely.
What do people want to see?
Seriously.
Let's
Nobody
remake
knows.
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the Off the Break Podcast, your podcast dedicated to current movie theater news, operations, and insights from the people that book the movies. Now, here are your hosts, Cody, Kyle, and Ken.
Here we go, back with another episode of the Off the Break Podcast. We're currently in our office. We are having March Madness fever. The March Madness madness has begun, and Alyssa has convinced us to... Care to elaborate?
Okay, let's just say I wanted a Cinderella story. I wanted, the underdog to at least do something, some different names in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Louisville,
Mm-hmm.
because why not? And yeah, it was first game of the whole tournament, and they lost. So my final pick is already dead in the water.
Oh, goodness.
And this is Shayla's first introduction to the bracket system and the college basketball madness that happens in March. And I think Alyssa was able to hook her into it. We've been talking nonstop about college basketball now.
Yeah, I have no idea what happens in basketball at all, but I picked the mascots that look the best, and I'm hoping for a great outcome.
Hey, you're better than me already.
I know.
But that's how it's going to work. It's always the person you least suspect that gets most of the picks right and goes to gets the most points or whatever. It's the same thing as fantasy football or any other of those fantasy teams where the one person goes in blind, picks someone based on having the letter B in the last name or who's the most handsome quarterback, and then they run on and get into a championship or something. And I'm not bitter about it anymore, Susan. No, there's not.
Well, I'll keep that in mind for fantasy football then.
Yeah.
Pick the most handsome quarterback and I'll win.
I have seen that system. It does work somehow. It's ridiculous. Well, from the jump, for this episode, we have CinemaCon coming around the corner. 2 weeks as of now, as of this recording.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
wild.
So crazy.
Well, I figured since you two were joining me for this episode that we put you both on the spot because this is going to be your guys' first time going to CinemaCon.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to hear about what you've heard about it so far from everyone in the office and what you guys are looking forward to from it.
The Glenn Powell luncheon, specifically Glenn Powell.
It's very possible you'll just casually run into Glenn Powell.
Chat him up, get married,
that'll...
I'm kidding, I'm already married.
Already married, but it's fine. Have a kid, it's fine.
I'm totally joking. No, I'm excited to meet all the people that I've been talking to on email and everything.
Mm-hmm. First time meeting the
Actually,
clients as
yeah.
well,
Exactly.
including for myself.
Putting a face to a name, that's been really bugging me. So I really want to see everybody.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be fun having drinks and lunch and dinner, or even just being able to talk about all of the panels and things that we're going to see. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
And seeing the, whatever the studios have to offer, and the Coliseum sounds so exciting, and that massive
Coliseum's so
space.
cool.
Yeah, I can't
So
wait. I've never
nice.
been in there actually, so
Yeah.
it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for myself, I went a few years ago, but it was a year that not many people showed up to, so there wasn't as many celebrities. There wasn't as much of a grand show as there usually is. I don't know why. I don't recall what happened a few years ago for that to happen.
Yeah.
I'm staring at our jar now of money. so
Overflowing?
See,
Yes.
for some
this
reason.
is a roundabout way of just saying it.
Mhm.
I'm putting my foot down. Stop now or you'll owe money.
Okay, she's spoken.
All right, I'm stopping.
Check yourself.
But this will be more of an actual event for me, so I'm curious to see how far out do the theaters really go out there in terms of putting on a show of things, because it was fun, it was good, but it was just here we are and things are weird right now, but we're hoping to get back, we're gonna try. So now it's definitely gonna be much more of we're here, we're back, it's exciting, and we got exciting stuff. So yeah, I'm hoping to see what they got in store for us.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
And, you know, Vegas is fun, too.
Vegas
yeah,
is fun
for
too.
sure. I've never been, so I'm excited to go to Vegas.
That's right. That is going to be your first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
me, it's obviously not going to be my first time, but I'm also not much of a gambler anyway, so I'm not one for Vegas lifestyle anyway.
You say that now.
You say that
He hasn't been
now.
with us before.
No, that
and then
never
you
works.
win like a ton of money the first time you play, and then you're hooked for life.
Nah, it doesn't work. I'm telling you, it doesn't work.
He's too careful.
I'm too careful. I'm too cautious.
Yeah.
I hold on to my
good
pennies.
soul.
I know, he's the best of us.
But hey, I am good at rooting for people to win money.
Yeah.
That's more exciting.
Okay.
He's an enabler.
Watch out.
It's not my money. I got nothing to lose.
Wow. Should have known.
Oh goodness, step back a bit.
But I guess also seeing the clients too is going to be fun, and meeting people as well. Because I haven't been able to do that throughout the years. I haven't been able to go out and meet people to these events compared to Cody and Ken being able to do that. And you guys a little bit have with some of the calls, some of the face-to-face calls you've been able to do. So you get to be a part of that. It'll be cool.
Yay.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, we can't wait.
Yes, I'm so excited.
So then let's just move on to our main topic then, which is that Ketchup Entertainment is really buying into the Looney Tunes property. Just after they released the latest Looney Tunes movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, Deadline was just reporting that Ketchup Entertainment and Warner Bros. Are in a bidding war over, or not a bidding war, they are negotiating a deal to where Warner Bros. Sends over Coyote versus Acme, which is the Looney Tunes movie that initially was fully done and made, but then was written off as a tax write-off, so it wasn't going to be put on in theaters or even on streaming. It just was going to be
Just sitting on the shelf.
sitting on the shelf practically. But it looks like some deals and some moves are happening where Ketchup might be able to get a hold of the Looney Tunes, this Looney Tunes movie, which is exciting. Kind of exciting. Like, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer necessarily, because it is good for this movie to get out there just for the art's sake of it all. But we've also seen less than enthusiastic results for the latest Looney Tunes movie that they just released, which is unfortunate to say, but I think enough weeks have passed to where we can say it out loud now.
Yeah, it didn't do great.
No.
But I don't know. Is it hard to be excited about Looney Tunes? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know what they are, like younger generations at least. With so many other cartoons out there, I don't know if that's a popular thing anymore.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get excited about them, but maybe this one would be different because it is live action with cartoon, right?
Yeah.
I think from the looks of it.
It's a mixture of the two.
Rather than The Day the Earth Blew Up was really just animated.
And
So
fully hand-drawn 2D style. It
Which
wasn't
is-
the 3D.
exactly.
Which for us, we like. We were happy
Right, of
about
course.
that. We grew up with that.
Definitely.
But it's like you're saying, like this new wave of generations isn't fully in tune with hand-drawn 2D animation. So that's probably a reason why this latest movie didn't work. But on top of that, too, is there cultural significance within the property? I suppose in a way, like, it's at least good for Ketchup for Ketchup Entertainment to at least give it a shot and to at least be able to take a fully available, by the looks of things, a fully available IP, because it's not like these very many small studios are able to have that chance.
No, you had to be able to have a full IP like Looney Tunes. That's not that they have the full IP, but even just a couple of movies under it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It would be like if Vertical Entertainment is somehow able to get like DC Comics movies, you know?
Yeah.
Like it would kind of feel that way of how are you doing this?
Yeah, but also it's $50 million, and the last one only opened to 3, so that is concerning.
So
I don't see where the price tag is coming from on that. I see where it's coming from on Warner Brothers' end, but I do not see what Ketchup is thinking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are just so many moving parts in like the business world that for us common folk we're never gonna understand.
Yeah.
How do you pay this with the money that you may not have.
Yeah, like what is happening here? I can see if you took the 0 off of that, but
Yeah,
5 million?
maybe 5 million. Like you're in the
Make
hole a
some money
little,
on that.
but
Yeah, for real. And I do see a lot on Reddit where people were really upset that Coyote versus Acme was not released. But if they were that excited about that, shouldn't they be excited about the day the Earth blew up? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
and you would think, granted, you wonder how much of that section of things is the majority of audiences that even are aware of the ins and outs of all this happening.
yeah.
And there's all and I also think there is a thing as not enough marketing being done
Right.
on
definitely.
Ketchup's side of things,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't really want to point the finger at them, because at least they are
least they're
making
trying,
the
yeah.
effort. Yeah, they're making
Yeah,
the effort.
definitely.
They gave a shot on this movie, which is great. And for us theaters, of course, we need more kids material anyway. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're excited for this to be given a chance to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think for the majority of audiences, they are noticing a common trend of not being advertised, whether it's in theaters or whether it's on streaming. They are not being advertised that the movies are coming out. And that definitely included for Looney Tunes. I think it is a part of the reason why that latest movie, on top of maybe the cultural significance of them now, is why that movie didn't succeed. So it is just one of those frustrations that is kind of plaguing entertainment right now. Like not only are the marketing dollars, I think, not being invested into advertising fully, but I also think that due to things like ad blockers, or due to the many ways that people get their media now, whether it's through Twitter, whether it's through YouTube, whether it's Netflix, that they are also paying for premiere pricing, which means that you don't have ads coming through.
Yep.
Yeah.
That you're just going to be hiding away. So when people do complain, I wasn't advertised this movie, I didn't know it was coming out,
Yeah.
it's also because you paid for the high price, so that way you don't have ads in general.
Which
true.
I do. I
Yeah.
can't stand ads.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
then, yeah, you're totally limiting yourself to that big portion of it.
Well, I don't pay for that at all. I don't mind ads unless they're constantly happening, but I don't see this at all. I don't see the Looney Tunes movie. I have a kid, so I figured that would come to me.
For sure.
I don't see that.
That's a good point. And
Yeah.
and again, it goes down to marketing dollars not being invested fully enough.
Yeah.
And Ketchup could make the excuse of like, we're the smaller guy, we can't quite make it there yet, which is fair.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But-
Marketing is expensive.
But you can also look at the other majors who could be doing similar moves, and you could have those similar complaints as well, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because Warner Bros. Really has something like Looney Tunes to where it has like iconography, maybe not cultural significance, but Bugs Bunny, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Absolutely.
You could invest in that more, but instead they want to sell it to Ketchup Entertainment. Like I don't know. It's just it's a hard time, I think, right now in general to figure out what is culturally significant too.
Yes, absolutely.
Which maybe that's, I don't know. I feel like I'm going on a lot of tangents right now of like, what is the bigger thing going into this Looney Tunes story? Like what?
Yeah,
that's
no,
the
it's
question.
interesting. Exactly. That's the whole point.
I feel like a lot of people at every studio have been asking those questions.
What is going on?
Yes, absolutely.
What do people want to see?
Seriously.
Let's
Nobody
remake
knows.
everything.
Yeah, exactly. They want to see sequels. The number 2 sequel specifically.
Right. Right. Yeah, so I, at least for the sake of the IP, because I do love Looney Tunes, grew up with it, obviously, I am happy that this movie is coming out, but after seeing our last Looney Tunes movie, I kind of am wondering if that's the right move in general to try to have this thing released. Like, is it going to be worth it in the end?
Yeah.
But I guess
Who knows?
I guess we'll see.
yeah, that's a bit of a Debbie Downer note, because I will give a positive to this. I think this is going to theaters. I don't see this going to streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because, at least not yet, Ketchup Entertainment does not have a streaming vehicle. There's no Ketchup Plus,
Yep.
right? And I don't think they're gonna buy this movie just to sell it to Netflix. Although
Yeah.
I guess you could have a payoff there.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
Ketchup is in the theatrical distribution market, and I think this movie will go to theaters. And I think it could get a bigger bump in terms of everything that we're kind of describing compared to this one, especially because it's more of a 3D animated movie than the last one was. But again, it's just the question of, is there significance to it, and how much trust will there be in putting forth with the marketing of it?
Put it in January or February when there's no kids movies, and hopefully that'll give it a bump too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. Put it anywhere. Again, more
Yes.
kids material is a good thing.
Yes, absolutely. Any time of the year.
Yeah. So yeah, we can move off from that to talk about a movie that's coming out from Neon Studios called Hell of a Summer.
Yeah, this looks great.
It's coming out April 4th. We were able to get a screener of it. I know I was able to check it out, and I hope you guys are able to check it out soon as well. Because basically it's a horror comedy centered around young 20-somethings scrambling to figure out how to survive from a killer that's going on through the woods as they're getting ready for summer camp.
Right.
It kind of feels it's funny because I was thinking it kind of felt like Scream in terms of like the self-aware campy humor approach to it, but
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
but at the same time it's not like commentating on other horror movies like Scream does. More so that it's just commentating on it feels like it's commentating on Gen Z, funny enough. Like it feels like it's a movie that's like making fun of their own generation in a way that doesn't feel like it's insulting to them at the same time. I'm not sure
Oh.
I'm not sure if that is correct on my part because I am not in that generation, but that's just how it felt. Like it felt like they're just really sarcastic about themselves because the filmmakers on this are of that generation. Like it's not a 50-year-old dude being like, look how I can make fun of them or whatever. And it doesn't feel like that also. So I was just really impressed by that sort of commentary that's going on through the movie, and I think that's a good angle because again we were saying like cultural significance, meaning make movies for the young generations going out to see the movie. So why not go at it from that angle? So between that and the kills and just making it actually a more interesting like who's who, like who's the one like going around murdering everyone, that angle of it was really entertaining too, and it had like a good payoff for it to me. So give this movie a shot if you can. If you feel like you need a horror title, this one could do it and could bring in a younger audience. So yeah,
Which is
For
always
sure.
refreshing. That's great.
really
And
though.
as a Gen Z person, when I heard it was a Gen Z horror movie, I was kind of like nervous for the trailer because I do not like when people that are older make movies about Gen Z and it's just totally demeaning and saying
sure.
like, you know, like
Yeah.
kids don't work hard and all that stuff. But it was actually really funny. And as like an elder Gen Z,
Yeah.
the part where they were like, "You're 45 and you still work at a summer camp." He's like, "I'm 24." That was hilarious.
But yeah, it exactly plays into that angle where it's by that generation for that generation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is rare.
Yeah.
A24, I remember, had a movie similar to that called Bodies, 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 which
Okay.
is kind of that same angle. Like it's kind of self-deprecating humor, sarcastic towards their own generation. I think it was made by a slightly older person, like probably a millennial, but even still, it felt like they were pretty aware of like the humor that
Yeah.
Gen Z has. It feels like it's the tone of voice that's right for Gen Z. It doesn't feel like, again, that elder yelling at like the younger generation type of thing to it.
Yeah, I mean, Gen X and Boomers all had like TV shows and movies specifically for their generation, and I don't really see that as much for Gen Zs. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Again, it's that question that we were having
Here
for
we
the
go.
Looney Tunes thing of
Yep.
what is for anyone,
yeah, exactly. Everybody's just shooting in the dark at this point.
which makes me sad because I felt like, I don't know, maybe this is me being old now, but I feel like we were able to have shows and movies and entertainment for us.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that not all of it was great, obviously, but even
Yeah.
still, it was able to have something to grow up with, and now we can appreciate it. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is for the generations coming up necessarily, and it feels like even they themselves don't really know, but they're not aware to understand that quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm thinking too hard about it, but
No.
but like you were saying, I like that it feels like it's for them.
Yeah, and I feel like movies and TV are expensive to make now, and people just aren't putting the money in that, or maybe things are too expensive to put the money in that they used to. You know,
No,
everything feels a
that's-
little cheap now.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair, because everything else in our world is also experiencing that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Everything's really expensive, even for the people with the money. Even
Yes.
they're like, woof.
they're like, wait a
Oh,
second.
God, now I'm feeling it.
Yep, exactly.
But nonetheless, hell of a summer. Very entertaining horror comedy. If you can fit in your theater and you think it's right up your alley for some of your demographics, I say go for it. Give it that stamp of approval. So onward to our popcorn bucket pick of the week. Thank you to Shayla, who chose The Last Unicorn.
I'm just torturing you guys at this point.
I don't say this very often, but yes, you did.
It's so good. The art is so beautiful, and I just sit there and my mind goes blank for the first time ever. You know,
Despite your brain going blank, can you give a quick rundown of what the movie is about?
I couldn't even tell you. The plot is so convoluted. It's so
There we
weird.
are.
Well, there's the last unicorn, and then all of her little sisters are trapped in the ocean by this king,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much it. I just can't. It's like so weird. It's so good. You don't know what's coming next at all in that movie. It's not a
You don't.
It's
That's
not
true.
a boring plot.
It's somehow it is to me both boring and not anything you can predict.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
They
is a
just
hard
managed to skate both.
it is a hard combo to do. I know the first 20 minutes in, I did have a hard time getting through it.
Yes. I
Especially-
haven't really felt the urge to fast forward a movie before, but I did with this one.
I haven't felt the urge to turn off a movie in
Oh my
some
gosh.
time.
No,
I'm sorry,
sat,
Shayla.
It's okay. I sat on my bed and I was able to lay down and not fidget with my phone for the first time ever.
Which
Yeah.
is a lot.
While
Mhm.
while my son sat there and he was like, horsey, horsey the whole time. And he
That's
loved the
heartwarming.
bowl. Yeah.
That's cute.
That's adorable.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and
it's
again, maybe
great.
as a kid's movie, because it is gorgeous. There's no denying that. Like
Yeah,
the
it's
animation is
beautiful.
The
very
painted
pretty. The
backgrounds. I
paints.
know Shayla has been mentioning that.
Yeah, they're all hand painted. And then the simple, like, flat 2D animation
Mm-hmm.
overlaying it, I think is a really good contrast. I loved it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I like visually interesting movies over everything. I
Sure.
don't like being bored by the same plot over and over again. So this is
It checks
the
all of those
epitome.
boxes.
The epitome of it.
I think that's really cool that your son was gravitated
Yeah.
to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just because this was a movie
Yes.
close to you, so that must have
Yeah.
been great, but on top of that, just I did see how this movie could capture the curiosity
Mhm.
that a child has, like not necessarily them being like, I know what's going on in this movie and I am locked in, more of like,
Yeah.
that creature looks odd. What are we doing here? And then you just like
exactly.
it's that type of a movie that has type of approach to it from a kid's eye. I
And there is
suppose.
music. There's the
For sure.
songs as well.
There is
So-
music.
There is
It's-
music.
it's
I
there.
have no comment on the music. It's not the best.
The music, I don't know, it both fit. I think it fit the time period, but it doesn't
Yeah.
fit the movie.
It does fit the time period. I think everything in the movie fits the time period.
No, for sure.
It's a total trip. Like,
Yes.
It's like they were all on acid making a movie.
Yeah, it definitely did feel like that. And I had the captions on for me, so I was like watching the lyrics of the
Oh,
song
wow.
go by. And I was just kind of chuckling. I can't remember anything specific, but I'm like, what does this have to do with a unicorn?
Oh my
Oh
god.
Like
gosh.
it sounds magical in the way of like you're floating and we're having an adventure, but then you read the lyrics and you're like, this isn't quite the movie. But I guess that's fine.
See, I put captions on for everything, and I still won't put captions on for that movie because I don't even care what's happening.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Oh man.
Oh.
Voice acting, I did see the names Christopher
There's a
Lee
few,
and Angela Basbury, I believe was their last name. Both of them are obviously familiar to me, so I had a kick out of them having voice acting roles
I think
in
Jeff
this.
Bridges as well was what I thought
Who was-
I read.
who was
I
Jeff?
think he was the prince.
Oh.
Unless
That's
I'm crazy,
crazy.
I thought I read that and I went, "That's
Let's find
nuts."
out. Whoever the
Okay.
magician was.
He was great. He was
He
my
was
favorite.
awesome.
Are you sure?
And he was only there for a minute. Oh wait, which magician?
Oh,
The-
sorry, the
the-
sorcerer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The magician or the sorcerer in training.
Yeah, you gotta
Him, he's funny.
specify.
Because
You're right. There were a few. I apologize.
Because
One guy was in it for like 2 seconds.
Yep.
And he was like, "I already know what's going on here. Peace."
Yep, exactly.
wow, you're right. It is Jeff Bridges.
That's crazy.
Alan Arkin's in the movie too. Why did I only see Christopher Lee and Angela Lansbury's name?
Oh, and Mia Farrow.
Yeah.
Mia Farrow.
Yeah.
No, it's a
Wild.
whole deal.
Yeah.
But
I-
yet,
I don't know.
And
who,
yet.
I don't know who played the magician in training, but that dude was
Oh, he
not
was
on the same
great.
page with
Yeah.
everyone else.
no, he was like, "Is this? Are we? No, okay."
Everyone has these just magical voice or these voices that have a bit of gravitas to them, and the
Yeah.
magician's like, "Hey, I'm Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with IT.
Literally magic. Do your thing.
Hey,
Yep.
hey, dude, let's give this a shot."
It's so funny. He's
Oh
the
my
comic
God.
relief.
He is. Oh my gosh.
Comic relief, yes, but at the same time, I was like, this isn't quite the voice for it, but
Well, I loved
Oh,
how
well.
everybody around him was so dramatic and like he was like, "What?" Like I was just doing what I thought was right. Like, what's going on, man?
so I guess like memorable in terms of like characters and little moments for me.
Yeah.
Little moments where I just sit
sure.
back and like, I just paid attention to that. What happened there again?
Yeah.
So a very unusual pick, but
Yes.
quite the experience, Shayla.
Yes.
Good.
So
Yeah.
thank
That's
you
what
for
I'm here
sharing.
for. Yeah.
So do you want to be the one to pick the next movie for us?
Okay. There's a lot in here. I thought we only put one in each.
One in each. I know our mystery contributor was able to throw one in last minute, so
Oh,
there's
nice.
another one.
Cool.
Okay, The Birdcage.
Nice.
Which, no, that's
That's-
not mine.
That's mine. Wait, did you put it in too?
I might have. Am I thinking of the right movie?
Oh shoot.
I never
This
remember
is
my
Robin
picks
Williams, Nathan Lane, and the
I
late
don't
Gene
know what this
Hackman.
I might have picked this one.
Oh my gosh.
I might have actually picked this
Let's
one too.
go.
I might have to double check that,
Oh,
but
shoot.
it's her handwriting.
Okay.
It's Alyssa's
It
handwriting.
is, yeah.
So you can get that.
Yeah.
I'll double check, but
Okay.
yeah, okay. I keep
Great.
side eyeing
Because you
it,
haven't
and I'm
seen it,
like,
right?
No.
Okay.
But it,
No, it's just a fun. I mean, Robin Williams and Nathan Lane together, you just can't.
yeah.
No.
So it's just a fun time.
In terms of comedies, I know that was like going through my head.
Yeah.
But I'll obviously you take that one. You take the reins on
no,
this
I
one.
mean, listen, if people put it in, then great.
I'm excited to watch a comedy. I love
Yes.
comedies.
Yes.
Yes. And with that, I think we're out of here until next week. So thank you guys
Yeah.
for joining for this episode, and we'll be back for another one next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you for listening to Off the Break Podcast. Find us on all podcast platforms and be sure to like and follow our Facebook and Instagram pages at Off the Break Podcast.